many organizations would extol the benefits of going out and buying things like EDR and XDR. So these are tools to empower your IT staff to conduct threat hunting, which sounds awesome on the face of it, but threat hunting is a very distinct discipline. And it takes a lot of training and a lot of expertise, and you have to be doing it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, because that's how the cyber criminals operate. Now, the best analogy I can think of is that if I went to the shop and I bought myself a set of boxing gloves, it's not going to make me a fighter, right? I can go and buy all the tools that I like, but it's not going to equip me to get in the ring and have a fight with some leading boxer. And it's kind of the same in cyber. So we actually believe, you asked the question, well, how do you keep yourself secure? And in the modern era, we think that MDR as a strategy, so managed detection and response, is the appropriate strategy for almost every organization to help keep themselves secure. So what MDR does is basically it's a service provided by vendors like Sophos. And what we do is we take telemetry, so all those logs, reports, all the interesting stuff, we collect that. We feed it into this massive sort of hive brain, and what drops out is interesting events, which we couldn't absolutely categorically say that looks a little shady. But what we can do is put it in front of a human analyst to then contextualize and work out whether we think this is actually a problem. And we think this is the best approach. And I mean, the obvious alternative is you buy the tools and you try and figure it out for yourselves. But let's be honest, if major retail groups, banks, airlines, hotel groups, if these people can't do cybersecurity properly and they've got huge resources, the Acme Sprocket company that's just got 15 employees, how on earth are they going to do cybersecurity effectively on their own? It's totally unrealistic. So we think having this team of experts and essentially democratizing a security operations center so that it's within financial reach for everybody is actually the best way of doing things. We do things a little differently at Sophos. So obviously we are a company with a very long history of creating technology, and we still stand by that. And as much as the technology is not going to keep you secure on its own, it will still, get you probably 99% to where you need to be. We will take telemetry from our own products, but we actually have adopted at a very early stage an idea of having an open architecture. And what I mean by that is we will take telemetry from most other cybersecurity solutions and a lot of allied technologies as well. And this actually has two benefits really for customers who choose to consume the service. The first is that as much as possible, we negate the concept of rip and replace. So if you've already gone out and bought firewall from another vendor, then we'll take your telemetry. That's fine. You don't have to throw it in the bin. If you've invested in different endpoint solutions, again, in most cases, absolutely fine. We'll take that telemetry. So it's great from that perspective, right? Nobody wants to have that awkward conversation. In fact, actually, what we do is quite the opposite. We would encourage you to invest well in cybersecurity, but then maximize your ROI, because as soon as somebody is looking at the logs, you're going to get more benefit out of the products that you bought. So that's one advantage. The other advantage by having this kind of open architectural approach is that we will see attacks from sectors that we simply don't play in. We do not, for example, have an identity provision service at Sophos, but we'll hook into your Azure AD. We'll hook into Entra. We'll hook into a plethora of third-party identity solutions. So we see things there. We see things from your backup and recovery is actually a really good example. Remember I said the cyber criminals will go after your backups? It's pretty much the first thing that they do.